In the heart of Ikoba, a kingdom nestled between rolling hills and lush forests, lived Princess Neka. Unlike the delicate and dainty princesses often sung about in folk tales, Neka was big, strong, and muscular. From a young age, she exhibited a strength that rivaled even the kingdom's fiercest warriors. Her skin, rich like the fertile soil of their land, glistened with the sweat of her rigorous training. Her eyes, sharp and determined, always carried a hint of kindness. King Olumide and Queen Ifeoma, proud rulers of Ikoba, cherished their daughter. They admired her strength and spirit, though they often worried about her future. The expectations of their people were clear. A princess should be graceful, poised, and ready to marry a suitable prince to continue the royal lineage. But Neka, with her broad shoulders and bulging muscles, defied those norms. "Neka, my daughter," King Olumide would often say, his voice a mix of pride and concern. "You are a blessing to our kingdom, but the people expect you to be more traditional." Neka would smile, her strong hands gently clasping her father's. "Papa, I know what they expect, but I cannot change who I am. I can only be true to myself." Queen Ifeoma, always the voice of reason, would add, "Your strength is your gift, Neka. We must find a way for our people to see that." Every morning, Neka rose before the sun, her routine filled with intense training. She sparred with the warriors, lifted heavy stones, and ran through the dense forests of Ikoba. The villagers would often stop and watch, their expressions a mix of awe and confusion. They had never seen a princess like her. Neka's best friend, Adana, was a skilled healer and one of the few who truly understood her. "Neka, you are like no other," Adana would say, her hands busy mixing herbs. "Your strength is not just in your muscles but in your heart." "Thank you, Adana. But sometimes I wonder if anyone else will ever see me that way," Neka replied, her voice tinged with doubt. Despite her doubts, Neka loved her kingdom and its people. She often spent her afternoons visiting the villagers, helping with their chores, and listening to their stories. She was especially fond of the children, who saw her as a hero. "Princess Neka, tell us about the time you fought the wild boar," a little boy named Chidi would often request, his eyes wide with admiration. With a hearty laugh, Neka would recount her adventures, her deep voice captivating the young audience. "It was a hot day, much like today," she would begin, "and the wild boar had been terrorizing the village." Her stories were always filled with excitement and bravery, leaving the children inspired and the adults contemplative. They began to see that perhaps there was more to being a princess than just beauty and grace. As the days passed, whispers about Neka's future grew louder. The kingdom's elders, led by Chief Anayo, were particularly vocal. "King Olumide, we must think about the future of Ikoba. Princess Neka must marry a suitable prince to ensure the continuity of the royal lineage," Chief Anayo would insist during their council meetings. King Olumide, though understanding of the elders' concerns, was torn. "Neka is not like other princesses, Chief Anayo. We must find a way to honor her uniqueness while addressing the needs of our kingdom." Queen Ifeoma, ever supportive of her daughter, suggested, "Perhaps we can hold a festival, a challenge for suitors to prove their worthiness. This way, we can find someone who truly appreciates Neka for who she is." And so, the preparations for the Festival of Strength began. The entire kingdom buzzed with anticipation, curious to see who would rise to the challenge and win the heart of their unique princess. Little did they know, this festival would not only test the suitors, but also challenge their own perceptions of strength and beauty. Neka, though skeptical about the festival, agreed to go along with it. Deep down, she hoped that maybe, just maybe, she would find someone who saw her for the person she truly was, a strong, kind, and capable princess, ready to lead her kingdom into a new era. As the sun set over the vibrant landscape of Ikoba, Neka stood on the palace balcony, looking out at the kingdom she loved so dearly. Her heart was filled with hope and determination. Whatever the future held, she was ready to face it head-on, just as she had faced every challenge in her life. The news of the Festival of Strength spread like wildfire throughout the kingdom of Ikoba. Villagers from far and wide prepared for the grand event, eager to witness the extraordinary spectacle. The festival promised not only entertainment, but also the potential to change the future of their beloved princess, Neka. The palace grounds were transformed into a bustling hub of activity. Stalls were set up, colorful banners fluttered in the breeze, and the aroma of freshly cooked delicacies filled the air. Musicians played traditional tunes, their rhythms echoing through the palace walls. Princess Neka, dressed in her finest attire, still managed to exude strength and confidence. Her outfit, a blend of royal elegance and practical design, highlighted her muscular physique. As she stood next to her parents, King Olumide and Queen Ifeoma, she couldn't help but feel a mix of excitement and apprehension. "Remember, Neka," Queen Ifeoma whispered, her hand gently squeezing her daughter's. "This festival is not just about finding a suitor. It's about showing our people that strength comes in many forms." Neka nodded, her eyes scanning the growing crowd. "I know, Mama. I just hope they can see that." The festival commenced with a grand procession, led by the kingdom's most skilled drummers and dancers. The villagers cheered as the participants paraded through the palace grounds, their spirits high with anticipation. The elders, including Chief Anayo, took their seats of honor, eager to observe the events unfold. The first challenge of the festival was a test of physical strength. The suitors, each one hoping to win Neka's favor, stepped forward to demonstrate their prowess. They lifted heavy weights, broke thick wooden planks, and performed feats of strength that left the audience in awe. Neka watched closely, her keen eyes evaluating each contender. Some were strong, yes, but their arrogance and lack of humility were evident. Others, though weaker in comparison, displayed qualities of kindness and determination that resonated with her. As the day progressed, the challenges became more diverse. The suitors were tested on their intelligence, their compassion, and their ability to work as a team. Each trial was designed to reveal their true character, beyond mere physical capabilities. Prince Obina, a visitor from a neighboring kingdom, stood out among the suitors. Unlike the others, he didn't boast about his achievements or seek to impress with grand gestures. Instead, he observed quietly, offering assistance where needed, and engaging in genuine conversations with the villagers. "Neka, have you noticed Prince Obina?" Adana asked, her eyes twinkling with curiosity. "He seems different from the others." Neka nodded, her gaze fixed on Obina. "Yes, Adana. He doesn't try to be someone he's not. I appreciate that." As the festival continued, it became clear that the competition was fierce. However, Neka's heart remained untouched. Despite the impressive displays of strength and skill, she found herself longing for something more, a connection, an understanding, a sense of shared purpose. One evening, as the festival reached its peak, Neka and Obina found themselves alone, away from the prying eyes of the crowd. They walked through the palace gardens, their conversation flowing effortlessly. "Princess Neka," Obina began, his voice sincere, "I didn't come here to compete for your hand. I came to understand what makes Ikoba so special and to learn from you." Neka was taken aback by his honesty. "You don't want to marry me?" Obina smiled gently. "It's not that I don't want to. It's that I don't believe marriage should be the prize for winning a competition. It should be based on mutual respect and understanding." Neka's heart warmed at his words. For the first time, she felt seen for who she truly was. They continued to talk late into the night, sharing their dreams, fears, and hopes for the future. As the festival drew to a close, the final challenge was announced, a battle against a formidable warrior from Ikoba. The suitors would have to prove their courage and skill in combat. The stakes were high, and the tension was palpable. Prince Obina, despite his reservations about the festival, stepped forward to face the warrior. The crowd watched in silence as the battle began. It was a fierce and intense fight, showcasing both Obina's strategic mind and the warrior's unmatched strength. In the end, Obina emerged victorious, his body bruised but his spirit unbroken. The villagers erupted in cheers, their admiration for him growing. However, as he looked towards Neka, he saw the conflict in her eyes. Neka approached him, her voice soft but firm. "Obina, you've shown great strength and courage, but I need to know, do you truly understand what it means to be with someone like me?" Obina's eyes met hers, filled with sincerity. "Neka, I see you for who you are, not just your strength, but your heart, your kindness, and your spirit. I want to be by your side, not as a victor, but as a partner." Neka's heart swelled with emotion. For the first time, she felt a glimmer of hope. Perhaps, just perhaps, she had found someone who could truly see her. However, fate had other plans. As the festival celebrations continued, a sudden attack rocked the kingdom. A group of rebels, seeking to overthrow the royal family, launched a surprise assault on the palace. Chaos ensued as the villagers scattered in fear. Neka, driven by her sense of duty, sprang into action. She fought valiantly alongside her warriors, her strength and determination shining through. Prince Obina too joined the fray, his skills proving invaluable in the battle. Despite their best efforts, the rebels overwhelmed the palace defenses. King Olumide and Queen Ifeoma were captured, and Neka found herself cornered by the enemy. In a moment of desperation, she locked eyes with Obina, who was fighting nearby. "Neka, we can't give up," Obina shouted, his voice filled with determination. But Neka knew the odds were against them. She made a split-second decision, one that would change the course of their lives forever. "Obina, take my parents and go. Protect them and our people. I will hold them off." Obina hesitated, torn between his desire to stay and his duty to protect the king and queen. "Neka, I can't leave you." "You must." Neka's voice was resolute. "Ikoba needs you. I will fight to the end." With a heavy heart, Obina complied. He gathered King Olumide and Queen Ifeoma, leading them to safety, while Neka faced the rebels alone. The battle was brutal, and Neka's strength began to wane. Despite her best efforts, she was eventually overpowered and captured. The rebels, having achieved their goal, took control of the palace. Ikoba was plunged into darkness, its future uncertain. The villagers, once filled with hope and pride, now faced an uncertain and perilous future. In the days that followed, whispers of Neka's bravery spread throughout the land. Her sacrifice became a symbol of strength and resilience, inspiring those who remained to continue the fight for their kingdom. Prince Obina, devastated by the loss, vowed to honor Neka's legacy and restore peace to Ikoba. Though the kingdom had lost its princess, her spirit lived on in the hearts of her people. Neka had shown them that true strength came not from physical prowess alone, but from the courage to stand up for what was right, even in the face of insurmountable odds. And so the story of Princess Neka, the big muscular princess no man wanted to marry, became a legend in Ikoba. Her legacy endured, a reminder that true heroes are defined not by their appearance, but by their actions and the strength of their character.